Guys, we have a lot of upgrades. Obviously, you guys have probably kept up with the 1600 horsepower at the tire Ford Raptor R that Pops and I built with a lot of amazing people when we were at the dyno. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, we can't have... Are you for real?
Just kidding.
Anyways, we found out when we put this truck on the road, even with four-wheel drive high, when we launched it, there was pretty much no putting the power down without all four tires spinning out of control. Actually, I remember my dad was a little nervous. Oh gosh! We were spinning everywhere!
This thing's all over the road. Holy cow, that actually scared me.
It did?
Well, yeah, you're changing lanes.
In the driver's seat, weren't you, Dad?
Just at the high speed because we were changing lanes without you turning the steering wheel.
No, he was definitely scared, and we have video of that, so we could pay into that.
Holy cow, that actually scared me. Anybody would be nervous if you're doing and you're getting up to 90 and the truck starts moving from lane to lane and you're holding the steering wheel straight. There's too much lateral movement in the tire, and these are awesome tires, but this can do the same thing. This is good. I think we do 100 miles off-road, and it's going to be good.
Are you back to being Mr. Negative Nancy?
No, I'm not at all. Okay, how about this? How about you put these on with these badass Innovates, and let's see you go over 100.
All right, I was so excited until my dad popped in here, but long story short.
I like what you're doing, but what we have to do is do what you said in the beginning. We need to take this thing, lower it down, go to some low profile tires that are made that don't have no lateral movement, so we could do 150 down the drag without rolling the truck.
It's good. I don't want to put little dinky tires in it.
No, just for the race. I'm all for that. Not being negative. I want to keep you safe. You have 2 kids.
Sorry about my dad, guys. But anyway, long story short, we got some race parts here. We found out that we took off so fast that the tire actually spun inside the wheel. So we're having to convert the whole wheel to a full beadlock, which we're going to show you because we got the baddest wheels in the industry. And we also went to a very sticky tire. If you guys haven't seen in the last episodes, look at how soft this thing is. I could pretty much move these lugs, and they're a little bit taller, it appears, than the factory. So I think it's going to fill out that fender well a little bit, and the offset is going to bring it out a little more. And then I got a lot of amazing parts right here, full suspension components. That way we're not worried about breaking all the factory links and the front end and just basically everything. This thing's got so much horsepower that it's kind of an unknown what is going to break next. But obviously the powertrain's dialed. My dad's still scared, and these are going to save us. I also have a full front sway bar. This is going to take a lot of the movement out like this, I'm hoping. If that doesn't do it, then we might have to revert to listen to my dad. But I'm trying not to go down that road if I don't have to. So let's get all this unboxed. We'll show you guys what we got.
My favorite thing is this. Innovate machines these out of a solid chunk of billet. Beadlocks.
Get to opening it. Look, now
my favorite wheel on the planet. So, and it's yours too.
I know, but you're being boring. Let's just get to let's show everyone. What my dad was saying is when I got these for his truck, I was so jealous that I had to get me a set.
No,
we are matching.
Hold on. First of all, these are different. If you don't want to break something ever, then you put Innovates on it. I don't care what we do. Even if we lowered this down with smaller tires, we would use these wheels. These are the baddest wheels made. I mean, look at that.
Look at how sexy.
Made out of a solid chunk. But you know what I gotta admit to you? I absolutely love this. Now this is an American tire. This screams it right here. This proud to be an American. Bam!
Maybe never do that again.
All right, are we gonna mount one?
Look at how sexy this is. I want to put it on a tire. Maybe we'll just mount it. One of the amazing parts of why I chose this exact wheel is, unlike my dad's truck where he's not doing any performance and he just wants looks, this is a full beadlock.
Hold on. That's not true. I'm literally towing everything that we got. So as far as performance, the rating on these outrate the tire. So let's back the train up there, chili cheese.
Chili cheese?
Yeah.
My dad's truck's so slow that I got him a non-beadlock. we have a B-lock, and you can tell.
It's because we're towing.
Oh my God.
He's got 2 different applications. But at the end of the day, the load rating, I mean, look, the trophy trucks are hitting these things, what, 150 miles an hour? Rocks, whoops. So do not down dog the truck, or I will make my truck way faster than yours.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he'll make it way faster. Doubt it. Anyway, well, let's just mount the Innovate wheels. I mean, at this point, you guys see what I'm dealing with. So I've been really excited about this. So obviously we did the front tie rods and they're Foutz Motorsports, but I saw these after I ordered and I'm like, dude, that is a must. So this is a fully machined upper A-arm. Oh my gosh, dude. Enclosed uniball right there. Holy cow, look at the machine work in that. So not only does this obviously look absolutely insane, but the strength that this is going to deliver compared to the factory is just a cast upper arm. What makes me nervous is just going fast, and once we put load with an actual grippy tire and stuff, like, I don't know what's going to happen. So everything is going to have to get upgraded to basically support the power that's in the truck. I'm so excited about the front suspension, obviously, but the other thing that makes me nervous is the factory rear. So I got all matching links, and these things look just like this, fully machined. So let me unbox these, and I want to show you guys how sexy these are. So FMI, these guys are the best in the game right here. They are the OGs, like the first dudes out there that actually came up with all this stuff. And so that's the reason why I went with them. Oh my gosh! Wow! There's also some technical stuff that I'll get into when we're installing this on why they chose to do this exact thing. I did a lot of research, but this is a solid chunk of billet. Wait till my pop sees this. This is, I don't think a lot of people understand what this is and how it started, but this is very expensive to make. And their prices are actually really reasonable for how much amount of work is in that. That is sexy. Holy cow. So this is important here. This is a panhard bar. And I got this specific one. This isn't the normal one that would come with like a Raptor R kit, but I got this specific one because I want to lower the truck. And the only way to lower it is you have to have an adjustable panhard bar. And let me show you the adjustment. So having this fully adjustable, when we lower the actual truck, I'm gonna need this adjustment, because when I lower the truck, it's gonna jog the rear end to one side. So this link basically will allow me to recenter the whole truck. This is gonna be important, not right now, but when we actually lower the truck. I gotta show you something.
What is this?
The panhard bar. You gotta look at this. You ready?
That is insane.
Ready?
Oh, wow. Greg made those?
Are those sick?
Oh, he's good.
Back in the day when we built the DeBerti Raptor FMI, they helped us with everything on that truck, the roll cage, everything.
One of the smartest guys I know is Greg.
But what they're doing now with all these factory just bolt-on parts is incredible.
Wow. Holy
and all
cow.
this was actually a very reasonable price.
I think he made these for me. Those are bad. All right, let's put them on.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Is that sick?
Holy cow.
Basically where we're gonna go right now is I gotta do a few things on the Lincoln, Pops and I wanna kind of get you guys updated. If you haven't been familiar with the Lincoln, this is the same exact Raptor R engine that is in the Raptor R, and we run in the same twin turbo setup, but there is some things that we got to work on this car. So I want to show you guys kind of just like a little update, because a lot of you guys have been asking, and then we're going to get straight into installing all this, and then throwing the last part of this video is going to be throwing those wheels and tires on and seeing how the truck looks all fully done. So let's jump on this car and then we'll get to this. So for those of you that may not understand what the Lincoln is, it is the same power plant as the Raptor, same twin turbo setup with the Hellion, and this is a full tube chassis car. So this is a Lincoln Continental. I'll pull up a quick render so you guys can see. Full wide body. We put everything on fuel air suspension. This is gonna have 74 degrees of steering for when we're drifting. And it is a four-seater. It's a very big car. We got some of the Recaros We still got some adjustments to do, but they're basically all fully mounted. And then this is a 6-speed RTS sequential train. So this thing's gonna be on kill. So this is gonna be like a full 2,000 horsepower. So when I'm on the gas, I'll be able to just not even lift off the gas and shift this thing. So so it's kind of crazy. But I wanna update you guys because we can't show we have so many things going on that we just kind of have to show you a little mix of things that we have before we even work on the Raptor, because this is on the lift and I need the lift to work on the Raptor. So Pops, why don't you take it away with some of the things we got to mount?
Well, what happens when you're building a complete car, what we do is we take every part that we're going to have to put on this chassis and we put it on a bench and we just start placing things that we think that where it's going to go, whether we're clamping, let's start back here with the airbags. Now we have these axles made out of the computer, so you always hope that it's right, because these G-force axles, look, if you never ever want to break an axle again, you buy a G-force. You're going to pay for them, but you pay for them once. But when you're doing measurements, you better be right on the money, because if you're off, this $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 axle, garbage. You can't reuse it. You could reuse the ends, but you can't use the axle.
So my dad just converted. We had this fuel safe made. This is all new from what actually came on the actual fuel safe. So this is a bad boy fuel pump right here. I forget the gallons per minute on this, but it's like, it'll support I think a few thousand horsepower, like 3,000 to 4,000 horsepower. It's high.
Yeah, and so when we're building stuff, we'll just take, we use a lot of the Klein clamps. You know, that's just kind of holding.
Perfect.
So Brad just made these brackets here, and what we're going to basically do is come down here, weld these on. That's going to hold this into place.
So these are our air tanks. This is what we got to figure out, like how everything's going to look.
See, I don't think we should take any, if we're going to leave this open, we got plenty of room on the side. Let's put one of those on the side and see where it fits.
I don't know.
Yeah, but here's what I don't want to do. Pop those back off. Let's put one over here. I set them up there the other day, and here's why I like them out of the way a little bit. You got that one there?
This car is so big and spacious that until we get the actual cab on here, I think we're gonna find that we have a lot more space than we think. The Lincoln Continental, our particular model is a 1962, and the trunk space in this thing is so big, it gets taken up quick. Especially because we're gonna have a wide body. We gotta cut out the whole fenders. These are our air tanks. This is what's gonna support all the airbags on the car. And we ran 2 of them. You don't really need to, but
if you want to fill up quick and you need to, it's nice to have the couple.
We're gonna have people in the car, out of the car, and it's constantly gonna be adjusting. I actually kind of like that, Dad.
You know, you got the support you made for there, and finding a spot for everything like we talked about. Once everything is where we want it, then it's pretty easy to plumb. And then of course me and Brad have mixed views on how we want to see stuff. I love the looks of this whole quick change rear end and the axles, and we're going to probably have to keep this open. But the detail in this thing, when you pop the trunk, I don't think we should hide anything in here. Everything is going to have to be closed off for inside the cab of the vehicle, since we're going to be heating AC. But I love detail. And there's just so much to look at that people are in there fabricating. What they're going to do is they're going to look at everything on this car. I mean, everything from the A-arms. I mean, look how many pieces the A-arms are. So these, I think if we just do a solid plate across here to hold the front of it, then these are hidden.
Yeah, but why not just mount these like this? I just thought about this. If we went like this, did a 90.
Yeah, we could do that too. But if we ever have to service them, it might be a little bit hard to get inside the trunk. See, those are the little things that you have to think about. You could mount stuff anywhere, but if you have to change this, which happens sometimes, you don't want it in a spot that you can't get to. And right now, like Brad said, we don't have the body on, but we're most likely going to build some kind of housing around underneath it, and we might not be able to get to them that easy. So it needs to be accessible in case, but we'll figure that out. Here we have our steering. And we had to special order a U-joint for this. And we don't, you know, ultimately this would be great right here. But when our headers come out, we have to have equal length, and the only place for them to come out is right here. And then you got to be careful because the tire is 28 inches tall. So we're gonna have 14 inches right here, and this is gonna come up to here. So wherever those headers are coming out, we're gonna have to bottom the suspension out because we don't want the tire to hit the header. So when you're fabricating all this stuff, if you don't think of every little thing, and then all of a sudden you make the headers and they won't work because of the tire hits it, that would be bad.
Here we got a mount. Oil filters, we got the radiators.
Yeah, and this whole front end of this vehicle is all Ford geometry Mustang. So what we like using is the electric steering out of the Mustang. And pretty simple steering. You got 2 hot wires, and then this little guy right here just goes to a hot and ground. And this little tiny sensor, as soon as you turn the steering wheel, as soon as you apply pressure, it pushes it for you. So it's those little things that you don't realize how they work until you start playing with it. But this, I don't remember who made this little system right here, but this is an aftermarket kit that's like 300 bucks. It's a great kit.
Basically, there's a lot going on in this car, and if you guys haven't watched kind of the build process with it, you guys could click this playlist right here and kind of see how it was from day one. But Pops and I were really excited, really proud about this car. As you can tell, we got a lot of little things to do and mount and stuff like that, so we're gonna kind of just work on it, and then we'll get the car off. And I want to bring the Raptor in here and throw on all that beautiful suspension and the wheels and tires I'm really excited about, and just kind of see how that build kind of progresses as well. But let's get working. We got a few things to cut, a few things to weld, and then let's pop it off the lift. So look at the difference of that. So this, you could tell, is a thin structure, definitely like machine welded. This would fold under heavy load off a jump or anything. Not that we're gonna go launch this bad boy. Maybe, we'll see. But one of the reasons why I chose these links in particular is other aftermarket links just have uniballs in this section. That's what's bolted through here. FMI, they use a urethane housing, and what that does is not only it allows it to flex a little bit, it'll also take out like any of the road noise. So like I'm watching all these videos of all these dudes swapping these links and stuff, and all you hear is like the whole time. And then there also have joints here to where I could actually grease every single part of it. So having the design like FMI makes, I could actually, if the urethane ever goes out, I could replace that, and it's gonna save my uniball. So normally these uniballs are very expensive. And so what's cool about this is one day, I mean, it would take thousands and thousands of miles. One day I'll have to do some maintenance, but it's gonna be a lot cheaper to go this route, and plus it's not gonna squeak like all the other kits. So I know they have a patent pending on that, but that was the reason why I ordered these, because I was reading online, and I only want to put stuff on this to where I'm not like having to like have all this upkeep. So that's the biggest reason. But those things, look at how sexy those look right there. So as you can tell, this is how everything's put together on the uniball. You see the urethane, that's that black piece that I'm talking about. So everything's kind of like encapsulated to where it makes it as user friendly as possible. I love the look of them, and I love that I could grease them. You know, a lot of them don't have like real good grease spots, so that's what this is here. So I'll still grease them, and the other ones you have to take off the links to even grease them. So a cool part about this is they actually thought about it, so I could just, when I'm ready to maintenance the truck, I could just grease everything as is. But let's throw on the other side. I can't wait to see the front A-arms on. But these already, I mean, look at that compared to this, no thank you, bye bye factory. You thought I was throwing it?
I thought you were throwing it. I was like, dude, the Lincoln's right there. Chill out.
Holy cow. Look at that. I mean, in theory, obviously they did testing, and this has withstanded, I'm imagining, some pretty decent stuff, but holy cow. That is like 1/2 inch thick right there. I wouldn't trust that jumping over jumps at all. It wouldn't take that much force to just pancake this. I guarantee you people break that. This whole, I mean, look at this. Complete difference. You got all the structure here, uniball. And now it's adjustable, which is kind of cool. Because when we lower the truck, what happens, what the whole point of this, just so you guys understand, this bar is in here. Watch the rear end. See how it moves left and right? So when your travel goes up and down, this is what keeps the rear end from tracking straight. So if you lower the truck, we might have to adjust it left or right to keep the tires left and right equal. So that's kind of the whole point of this, but I would never thought that the factory was that weak looking. I don't love that at all.
No.
Yeah. Holy cow. That makes the truck look so dirty. I mean, look at how dirty the frame is and everything. And then you got those sexy things. That was one of the easiest installs I've ever done. And that panhard bar, the factory one, because it's like mounted in rubber, and same with the links, there was so much play. When I mounted up on this, now this thing's like full rigid. So I'm excited to get the front on. Look at the front. I was looking at, look at how thin these guys are compared to this. I mean, look at the difference that is. So we'll throw these on. This is the last little thing that I was just a little nervous about. Again, I probably wouldn't be nervous, but I've seen all the people with Raptors on the internet, and everyone's like breaking everything, and I'm like, all right, it's time to fix it. So let's throw this upper on, and then we just got the sway bar, and then I'm gonna mount the wheels and tires, and this is gonna be a completely different truck. This thing is gonna ride so good when I'm done. And it's, a lot of you are probably like, you're not even gonna notice. It's the tightness of the truck at speed is what I'm gonna notice. Before, I mean, this thing's loosey-goosey. I mean, you heard Cletus say it before, you know, when you get these trucks over 90, they get a little crazy, and he's absolutely right. So I'm just trying to fix every little amount of play that is in the suspension. So we'll get this bad boy on, and not only is it gonna look absolutely sick, I think it's gonna do way better. Hey, did you put these on the truck just to make sure everything fits?
You didn't fit them?
Well, wouldn't it be the first time something was off?
Did you? I thought you fit them.
No. So one rule of thumb, just so everyone knows, I don't care what wheel you get, what wheel you have made, what wheel you order. The second you mount a wheel, it is officially used. So Pops and I, a long time ago, that's why I'm surprised he didn't check this.
Well, I thought you checked it.
We had a set of wheels made, and we go to put it on, and the lug pattern was different, and we already had them all mounted and everything. So he's mounted them all but one. So worst case, we have one brand new wheel if anyone's interested, but we should be good. Oh, Dad. Scared you guys. Oh man, look at how good that's gonna look.
Oh dude, that offset's gonna be dialed.
For you guys watching at home, I keep going back and forth. Should we do like a cool like theme, like maybe something like this on the Toyota? Or should I paint match all the fenders and just do like black logos so the truck stays red with black logos? I keep going back and forth. I don't know what I want to do. I know that that red is definitely different for us, so it's kind of been fun to have a little change. But you guys put in the comments, because I truly need some help. And if anyone is watching that does design vehicles, I also need help with the design, because I've tried on Photoshop and AI, and I'll tell you what, I'm not an artist. I like how I'm like wiping down the A-arm and nothing else.
Look how dirty everything else
I
is.
gotta give this thing a wash. All right, last thing, the sway bar. You see this factory one? So the one I have over there also is FMI, and that is gonna take out a lot of this in the front of the truck, and that is gonna be the biggest thing I think that's gonna change on the truck. That looks so good, Dad. That looks so much better, dude. I gotta take a picture of that. So this right here is the factory sway bar, but I think this is part of the reason that this thing is so soft. And indeed, this is a Ford Raptor, so it's meant to be soft. But for what I'm wanting at this moment in time, I don't want it to be soft. So I just want to show you guys the difference here on how big of a difference it actually is. This is converting it to like a trophy truck style. This weighs probably 3 times the amount as this. This is a full solid bar. And then it converts it to these torsion arms, and this is gonna put much more leverage. So when you go left and right in this thing, instead of being like crazy like this, it should be way more stable. So these brackets, what's kind of nice about all this is just direct bolt on them. So this basically converts the factory sway bar to this whole bracket system, and I actually love that it grabs all the factory points on the whole chassis itself. And the sway bar now is going to slide all the way through here under the engine and over there. And I just realized that I have a little oil leak here, so we'll have to address that. Coming from right there, that is. Let's pretend that I never saw that. Oh, I'm so excited. This thing's gonna be a little bit wide. Oh, it looks like a little trophy truck. I got it right now, it's all like bound up. I gotta back up and pull forward. But this already looks, I've been so sick of this thing looking stock. It's been okay though, cause it's been like kind of sleeper mode a little bit, but now it's like, all right, cool. You know, he's doing something to the exterior. And now that we have all the suspension and everything, this is gonna be a whole different truck. Let's get it outside and let's see what she looks like in the sun. That looks good. Dude, that looks so much better. Look at that. Oh, yeah! That's what we're talking about. Now it fits the 1600 horsepower. Dude, I'm so excited. I already felt how much stiffer it is just with that front bar just backing up. This thing is gonna be a monster, you guys. Holy cow. I am so excited about this. Next episode, we just might have to turn this back up to 1600 horsepower and absolutely launch it until something breaks, or we just don't break traction. I know my dad's pretty negative about it, but I know this is going to be a big change. And if it's not, then I'm going to pull all the shocks off it and we're going to slam this thing and make it stiff. So let's pray this works. Dude, that looks great. Hey, that looks way better.
I'm in the big leagues. Told him don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston. Hey, feeling like Whitney.
When's it gonna pop?
I don't know why that first one popped like it did.
I need to wash this thing. It's terrible.